Okay, this is gonna be good. Does it clump up? Ah, it's so good. Oh my god. Hey YouTube, coming at you with something a little bit different today. I've been doing a lot of casts, but recently felt inspired to play. I actually decided to try and tackle the Korean server, which, as you all know, is a little bit more difficult and a little bit laggy if you're from North America. But this type of VOD is a little bit different, so I'm not actually speaking in real time in the game. I played the game out, I recorded it, I actually broadcast it live on Twitch, and decided to maybe do some voiceover afterwards because I didn't talk much. The whole stream I was just kind of in try-hard focus, can I even win games on Korea mode? But this is, for context, getting close to the end of about a 5-hour stream. I've just come out of a game where someone was being quite silly to me, which put me in a mood, and I'm being a little bit silly to this guy. I guess paying it forward, but in a little bit of a toxic way. I'm not going to pretend like what I did here was good. I am not proud of it, and to be honest, I wish that this wasn't part of the VOD, but like all my flaws, we just kind of have to roll with the punches. So, yeah, I'm going to goof around with this guy a little bit. The last game I had played, the guy in a little cheesy talked about like talking too much in games and all this, so I decided to do it a bit myself. Looks like we have a break. I will say this is probably the worst thing I did, though. I'm really not proud of this moment. It's never okay to pause, especially if you're not doing it for any reason that's actually important. I kind of was goofing a bit with this guy. Couldn't believe he unpaused on me, though. So I kind of feel like we can't ended up even on this one. Being a little bit rude here on my side, but a little bit rude on his too. We'll call this 50-50 on the BM scale. Man, the more I talk about watching this game with you guys, this feels like some sort of director's cut. You know, when you listen to the DVDs behind the scenes. Anyways, as far as this game goes, I've been, prior to this, playing battlecruisers, just battlecruisers. There's a good 5.5-hour VOD of me just playing battlecruisers on Korea. Started from an unranked, never played before account, which was my casting account, and yeah, about diamond level at the time of this game, which is the end of the stream, frankly. But I felt the game was worth maybe posting on YouTube because it was a lot of fun and kind of ridiculous. Plus, it employs a lot of the old school bad action tactics. So for those who are above, we'll say diamond level, you probably don't want to watch this video or listen to my explanations. But for those who are under, maybe this could inspire you and give you a little bit of hope. Something a lot of people don't really know about me is I don't know builds very well. I don't have a lot of things memorized, even though I have access to some of the best replays available. Because I don't play the game as much as I like, I end up not really getting too concerned about the precise timings for things. And again, not a brag at all. I'm a bad, not great player. Example here, watch, the barracks is about to break. I thought this was going to be fine because I'm a dumbass. Bit of panic here, Wally CVs. Spoiler alert, I will stabilize off this. But going back to my previous point, you can do your own thing in StarCraft 2 and have moderate success with it. You're never going to be a pro player, I think, without learning refined builds. You're going to have to eventually, at some point, min-max a little bit, but from the mouth of somebody who hasn't been masters in a little over a year, and just has been pretty content around diamond level, you can get a decent way through StarCraft 2 without knowing for sure what you're doing. I have this kind of logic of I know where I want to go and how to get there, just not the best way to get there. But anyways, back to this build I've done. It's what I used to do to try and bait lower league players into all-inning me. The idea here is by putting a command center down first and a wall at the front. This looks really greedy. It looks super Bane bustable. And frankly, if you don't prepare for this, you will totally lose to Bane bust 100% of the time. However, knowing that's the weakness of the build, the idea with the bait is while I do in fact play greedy behind it, I also prepare for the weakness. You'll see bunkers start going down, for example, and wall offs to make sure that Banelings can't get through.
Out of energy.
The macro slips a little bit on this one too, because my intention of this game was to go battlecruisers, by the way. I wish there was a production tab you guys could watch while I'm laying these buildings down, but because I ended up floating up way more gas than I anticipated because I was investing in this wall, feeling that this was coming, feels bad, man, by the way, seeing this many Bentleys show up to your base, but I layered my wall in here so everything was just fine. I know we're joking around that didn't scare me. This didn't actually scare me. I was fully aware that it takes 6 banelings to break through this, no problem. The bunker had any amount of health, meant it was going to keep the wall up behind it. And of course, you see the other guy have to walk away from this. But and it's back to the point of battlecruisers. Along with every other game I played, save except one where I did Thor's, my intention was to go battlecruisers the entire way. So a little bit of an early game bait, hoping that he spends all of his money trying to attack me, meaning he won't have like 5 spore crawlers and a bunch of queens back on his side of the field. Again, not trying to advertise this as a great build, and I'm not suggesting anyone else runs out and does this, but just explaining my thoughts behind this game. So second all-in attempt comes in, holds the wall here once more. I'm a little worried at this point that whatever hits me next is going to be big. Like, it's going to be the do or die, because these are 2 failed all-ins now. So I decided to put another layer of depots down here. Funny enough, the Widow Mine, which hit nothing, is in the way. I have to move this guy out to the front, but I'll put the second layer of depots down. That way, if it busts the depot and it busts the bunker, I still have a wall behind it, and I won't lose to the Ling run by. But again, my intention behind all of this is not to focus my entire game here on the wall. This is just my defense. I still want to go battlecruisers behind this. And just have a good time abusing those. Now, I built some Banshees out of panic. A little concerned that the all-in might be a bit too much to handle, but realizing now I've got a bit of time on my side. The secondary wall is up. I feel comfortable enough to cancel those Banshees and go for a battlecruiser. Well, 2 battlecruisers, if we're going to be more precise.
What's going on?
And the logic here is, while I don't know what's going on with my opponent, I know that he's wasted a ton of gas building a Baneling nest. I know he's hit me with at least 12 Banelings. I know that there's been a lot of Zerglings made because they constantly show themselves outside the wall. So in my head, there's either a very low drone count or a moderate drone count with no defenses. You're not going to be able to afford spore crawlers and queens if you've been investing this much into breaking a Terran's wall. Yeah, battlecruisers are coming out here in just a moment's time. I will be sending those across the map immediately. Normally I would play a little bit more carefully with the battlecruisers, but in this instance, again, timing is everything. I don't want to give him time to build a bunch of queens and spore crawlers to defend what's coming, but at the same time, a little bit of complacency is going to cost me a lot in this game. As I get over here very quickly with those battlecruisers, as mentioned, there's a lot of dead space in my base, and at this period of time, my opponent's actually transporting Lings up to the high ground over here. Battlecruisers end up getting to the main base, and as anticipated, there's no defense over here. Much to my dismay, I start seeing blue in the bottom left of the minimap, and oh my crap, there's a lot of Lings up here. Luckily, I had built a wall up, so I wasn't too scared. I pulled the SCVs here very quickly. With the bunkers and the Marines that I had, I figured as long as I didn't eat a Baneling to the face, I'd be all right. And it was mostly Zerglings, so my focus went back to the battlecruisers for this attack. A little bit of damage done. Gonna have to cancel a couple of buildings, but honestly, I'm floating so many minerals. My macro is terrible, but I'm killing them. And I know that he doesn't have like a 4th or 3rd hidden base. There's no way he could afford it with the amount he's been throwing my way, especially if he throws down those drops. But not a Manor Mule, by the way. Just put that out there. I'm legitimately trying to repair the battlecruiser so I can take on the spore crawlers, as I don't have Yamato cannon. A big Widow Mine shot goes off. That's the clip you guys saw at the start of the video. I didn't see this in game, or at least it didn't register with me at the time, because it was like, oh, cool. I guess that happened. Tank's gonna go down here, which is a little, my bad. I should have pulled the SCVs a bit sooner to make sure that didn't happen. But I mean, it's the end of the attack, and as you can see, you're probably by the video spoiler, it's close to the end of the game. Guy doesn't have much left. The drones in the main were massacred, and that's the game. Thanks for watching my adventures on Korea. 4K MMR, baby. Next stop, Masters.